Hey guys, this is Helena with Glass Factory. I'm here with Ben from Jukebox the Ghost, and we're going to talk about their newest album and life on tour. Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
good. How are you?
Very well, very well.
So, let's go back to the origin story of the band. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's a three-piece, same three guys forever. We met in college. We went to school in at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. And started playing. We were just, the college band and playing every crappy little gig, frat house, benefit concert we could through college and flyering the dorms and, just pestering everyone within earshot all the time. Made a record our senior year, and then just started touring. And we hit the road in 2007 and haven't really stopped. But yeah, just like hoofing it, getting in front of people and playing
Yeah,
shows to nobody for years.
that's cool. Well, it seems to be changing though. You're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean it's always gotten better. It always we
Yeah.
somehow keep growing and more people keep finding our music and thinking it's all right. And we just had our biggest ever show this past fall here in Brooklyn, and so it's like, it keeps on going, keeps on giving us
Yeah.
hope and reasons to keep making music.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like, especially with just like your latest album, your upcoming album out on May 27th, I got
Yeah.
to get the chance to listen to that. It's really cool, really refreshing, great little time capsule of just like what you guys were going through as a band too, I bet, right?
Yeah, I mean, we made this record during COVID. I mean, I think every band, artist, creative, whatever, if they, had the headspace or ability, they took advantage of that
Yeah.
time off the road. And for me, like, we had, like, as I said, we've been touring since 2007, and to have a year and a half where I wasn't on the road, I'd never had that. Never my whole adult life, or even since I left for college, I wasn't ever home in one place for that long. So it was a really nice little refresh for me, actually. And yeah, we holed up for a couple of months at different points throughout and made the record in this room, if you can
Oh,
believe.
wow. Cool.
We built this right before COVID hit, and we're very lucky to be able to work out of here and make the record ourselves.
Yeah, so you didn't do any of the Zoom sessions or anything like that? You
We did
just
a
did it
couple
all
of
in
Zoom
person?
sessions, yeah, and we did a little bit. We do like some lyrical adjustments in writing or mixing or stuff. Um, but for the most part, we managed to, we would like quarantine and do the tests and then just like we would be our bubble while we were making the songs.
That's cool. That's really special too. You guys were isolated together.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't the whole time because I think it's both like it was amazing to have that time together, and also it was amazing to have some space away from each other after,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know,
I bet.
whatever it was.
I bet that could be a lot sometimes too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So who was your biggest inspiration right now in like music?
My biggest inspiration right now, it's what the artist that I've been loving is Jacob Collier.
Hmm.
He's just this absolute freak of nature musician, uh, incredible pianist, multi instrumentalist. I don't I love that in music right now. There's this move towards like musicianship and like more complex chord structures and more complex song compositions, and people are taking really cool risks, and I think being rewarded for it. And he's one of those artists that's doing that in a cool way. For the record, we were taking some pages from Queen because that's just a fun thing to do, and we do these yearly Queen cover shows around Halloween called
Hmm.
Halloween,
Cool.
and that has sort of seeped into us. And I think whereas in the past we would accidentally stumble upon something that sounded like a Freddie vocal line or Brian May
Mhm.
guitar lead, and now we're doing it a little more overtly, if you will.
So I know we were just talking about the pandemic, but how has it impacted your creative process as a musician?
I think it was the space. It was
Mm.
the given time to just be here. I got to really learn how to record. I was doing most of the engineering when we were making the record, and I was working on other projects, and it just gave me a chance to give some space to just figuring out what I wanted to be making.
Mm.
It's like working on this band album and working on building the skills so that we can make the record ourselves and not have to depend on another producer or someone in a different
Yeah.
studio. but also like, I'm like working on like, film scores or musical theater projects or things that are outside of the band that are like still enriching my whole musical experience and learning new things. And I don't know, I just love, I don't know. Like on this tour, I started learning guitar because I was working on
Oh,
something and I was
cool.
like, this is so dumb that I can't play guitar. It makes me so mad. Um, so
I
like,
heard you.
just
I heard
trying
you
to,
playing when I joined
oh,
in.
it was
Yeah.
on. Yeah, I didn't realize that was you. I was like, oh my
No,
goodness, Mom,
it's
you can't hear me. Um,
okay.
yeah, it's like it's so funny because piano is such a there's a steep learning curve with piano. Like
Mhm.
I'm a classical pianist. I studied jazz in college. Like I am entrenched in piano pedagogy. I know how to play that thing. And the guitar, it's like you get a couple chords and you get your fingers so they don't hurt, and you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You could write a song after a week. Good luck writing a song on piano after a week.
Hmm.
But yeah, just trying to learn and keep expanding what I, can do and continue to grow as a musician. And
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I'm looking forward to hearing more of that guitar work.
you say that now. Yeah, you don't know.
So you said you were working on some film scores. You want to tell me what a little bit more about that?
It's just it's there's nothing concrete there that I can talk about, and it's
Yeah, no
funny
problem.
even with musical theater projects, which are definitely more concrete, but
Yeah,
they're all frustratingly still in this space where it's like songs are written, the book is done, that this is this, but we
mhm.
can't talk about it because it's still in
Of course. Yeah.
podcasts or this or that. But if anyone is watching this, before long, there'll be actual things announced.
Yeah.
But it's a good and busy time at the moment.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah. So what do you think? How do you think your music has grown or changed over the past couple of years?
Oh, one of the things that I stayed busy with during the pandemic was every weekday at noon, I would go online for 30 minutes and just improvise. I called it noodling at noon. And I would just go and I'd make stuff up and I'd write songs on the air and I'd do this and that. And I think that like helped expand. I don't know. It was like practice for me. It was
Mm,
both practice in that I was trying new things, but trying new things in front of people. And so I think that definitely like made some changes in how I think about music and where I'm pulling melodies from.
cool.
Um, yeah, I don't know
Sweet.
how to quantify it beyond just like I think with anything, the more you do something, the better you get, the more
Yeah.
interesting stuff you have, and it's a good reminder that like even with something like piano, which I've always been doing, like there's always room to grow, always room to learn more
Yeah.
things.
Especially in an art, like that's going to be something you can work on your entire life and continue to improve on your whole life, and it's going to
Yeah,
show the improvement over their lifetime a lot more visually or a lot more sonically than with maybe some other things.
yeah, and I also think like bands sort of when a band is born, it like does a thing, and if it
Mhm.
goes well, like people want like more of that
Right.
thing. And so but as an artist, you don't want to keep making the same thing over and over
Right.
and over again. But you can't we can't come out with like a rap album because our fans wouldn't listen to it. So there you have to do this like gradual growing
Yeah.
and figure out like where there's room to change and adapt and where there isn't, and just make sure that I and we are staying interested and invested and inspired by what we're doing.
Yeah. Cool. Well, so you guys just got off the road. Could you tell me about some of your favorite memories of being on the road,
Man,
especially
it's
after all this?
yeah. Well, we did a fall tour that was like so. This is more lingo than anyone needs. So there's like a major market tour, and then there's like the secondary market tours. So we did the major market tour in the fall, and that was like your New Yorks, your LAs, your Denver, whatever.
Mhm.
And that was both amazing and crazy because both the other guys in the band got COVID, but not
Oh,
at the
wow.
same time. So we did like duo acoustic shows when one was missing, and then it's just piano and drums, or it's just piano and guitar. So that was chaotic, to say the least. And then this tour was sort of all the smaller markets that we didn't hit back in the fall. So we're playing our Albany or our Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Mhm.
But we had some great shows in. There's a great show. Like Madison, Wisconsin was great. Cincinnati was great. And no one got COVID, and we're
Good.
going into restaurants again because we didn't go in anywhere or see any fans back in the fall.
Mm.
And that was weird because we put a lot of FaceTime in with people that come to our shows. Like we've always prided ourselves on that, and to not do that has been strange.
Yeah, that does seem a little bit strange, especially since it's just like become such a normal in your guys' fan base too.
I
Like,
think it's strange. I think it's strange for the fans too, because they're like, used to us just coming out into the audience after the show. But
yeah, no, like it's as an audience member, it's definitely been it's different than it was still. Like, I know everybody's been kind of acting almost like it's exactly been the same the whole time, but it's definitely different. And it's just this weird parallel.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And everyone's not on the same page. Like, there's people in masks, which is great. There's people that aren't. There's like different comfort levels. Some people want to be around people and some people really don't, but they all want to go to the show. So
yeah, for sure. So tell me a little bit about Cheers. What was the main concept that kind of just arose in the writing process?
We have two songwriters in this band. So full transparency, we have like 24 songs that we recorded and picked 12 for this album, and we have a whole other batch like waiting in the wings for another album. So the songs that I'm singing on there are I don't know if they all have a singular vision. I think they have similar energies. I will say that Tommy, who's the other songwriter, wrote these like suite of songs that are all interconnected and a little more like complex and more like throwbacky to our first and second albums. So like and this has often been the case, like I sort of write individual songs in microcosm, and he works on this like macro big apocalyptic storytelling thing, and then we weave it all together, and we end up calling it a record.
Yeah, no, that's really cool, because like I never really in listening to it, I didn't really come up immediately with a concept, and that could probably be why. So I definitely need to like keep diving in. So how will this release, do you think, influence or inspire your projects in the future?
I have no idea. And this is I don't know. I think when you release something, it's you relinquish control, right? You give it over to whoever listens to it. The listener will create their own story, motivation, feelings around it, and give certain songs life, and certain songs won't have it. And it is always strange, we never know what we can guess, but we never really know which songs we will continue to play live when a record comes out. And a lot of that just comes down to what people connect with. So we might think we're playing X, Y, and Z forever, and then out of nowhere, the fans just like grab onto a different song. It's like, oh, all right, that song always goes in the set every night. So be curious to see what sticks out, and what people like.
Yeah. Do you have any expectations? Do you have any that you're pretty sure that fans will stick to?
Yeah. I mean, there's Hey Maud is one that I'm like, I think the fans are gonna love that. It's a little like throwbacky. It's very piano based. It's not like overproduced. It's just like our instruments in a room. I
really liked Hey Maud.
Cool.
Yeah,
nice.
that was really cool.
Yeah, and it's like it's like our old stuff, but it's like our new stuff. And in fact, it was a song that we wrote even before our first record came out, that we rewrote and re-examined and redid for this album, because it never made it on a record.
That's cool.
Had some old problematic lyrics and some stuff that we were like, let's fix that and not be like gross 19-year-old boys singing about stuff. So we adjusted that, and then I think, I don't know, I have high hopes for Brass Band personally, but that's just what I'm digging. What else are you comfortable with? Like, what else stuck out to you? Because I haven't talked to a lot of people that listen to the record.
Like Hey Maud was definitely a standout. Also an interlude. Do you typically do interludes in your album?
No, but again, that's like part of that was part of Tommy's vision of, let's just like have some songs that are non-conventional and flow into one another, and work on some thematic. Like there's the Cheers melodies. There are definitely some melodies that we stuck in at different parts of the record. I
noticed that too, especially like lyrically. There were definitely some lyrics that like echoed ones in the past. So I noticed that. I was just like, I couldn't pick it apart quite yet though.
Right, so good. I mean, it's not like, it's not overt, but there's definitely like, there's melodies that find themselves in different songs and lyrical references and stuff.
Yeah, but I really like how laid back it is, and how just like it's a really easy listen in the way that it's like I don't know, it's something that you can like calm down to on a like a rainy day, or
Ooh,
yeah, just like write to. It's definitely a creative kind of thing. Like I could
awesome.
see myself writing to it for sure.
Cool.
Sorry, if
Thanks.
my backdrop is moving, my dog just laid down on my
That's awesome.
blanket.
His dog is welcome to join the interview. That's fine with me.
Yeah, no, he's just hanging out next to me. He just wants to be next to me, and then all of a sudden he just moved, and I saw
As long as the whole thing
Crystal.
doesn't just like collapse.
Wouldn't be the first time. But yeah, anyways, sorry. But yeah, so no, Hey Maud was definitely the one that stuck out the most to me, and I think it
Cool.
had to do with like the fact that you, for the reasons that you were mentioning. So yeah, pretty cool. I really like the album. I can't wait to just continue to peel it apart. It takes a lot for me personally, just because I like pay attention to the instrumentals first, and then and then the lyrics sometimes just like
Honestly, that's
takes
how I
a lot to
listen to
click.
music the same way.
Yeah.
I find listening to music a very engaging and often exhausting process, and I usually only hear the lyrics if they are exceptionally bad or exceptionally good. Otherwise, they just sort of flow through.
That's not the case for me either. It just takes forever for the lyrics to really click for me. Even if I watch the music video where it has like the meaning right in front of me, I
Yeah.
still don't get it. And it just takes a lot.
Yeah.
So it's nothing on anybody. It's just how I listen to music, and it makes it really enjoyable for me. I can listen to it over and over again, and I get a different experience
Like,
every
oh,
time.
that's what the song's about? Yeah, on the 10th listen. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, this lyric. Oh yeah, yeah, could have gotten that 20 listens ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, how can we support you? Where can we find you? And like basically what do you guys have planned next?
Yeah, I mean, look, all of our band name is weird enough that we're on all the different socials. Um, Best thing anyone can do for us is, pre-save songs before they come out, or, favorite us on, Apple Music or Spotify. All that sort of stuff goes a long way.
Mhm.
We are going to be touring again in the fall, but that's not announced yet. So, you can follow us as a band, follow us as individuals. We're all making shit all the time and trying to put stuff out there and trying to, stay engaged. And yeah, that's sort of the story.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts?
Um, Man, I don't know. No, it's funny. This is only the second interview I've done for the record because obviously it's not out yet. A lot of
Right.
people don't have it, so no, I'm still wading through even how to talk about it. It's not even real for me yet. It's not out in the world.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. I almost wish that like I had another month to just like talk to you again about it, and then I'll get a
have
totally
a
different
follow
impression.
have a follow-up interview.
Huh? Yeah, we
Like,
might be able
be like,
to. Yeah, that
actually,
might be
I
cool.
hated this song. I thought I liked it, but on the 10th listen, I just hate this song.
Right.
Yeah, get some real feedback.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing all the responses.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it was great having you.
Thanks so much.